You've probably deduced I'm Gary Grant, the chairman of Toronto Crime Stoppers. It's nice to see many familiar faces here today and some new faces. And of course, Mark Pugash had to, rain on my parade and point out to me that people aren't here to see me, they're here to see the dog. But in any event, I'm really pleased to be here today on behalf of Toronto Crime Stoppers to introduce with Yvonne an excellent new partnership that we've developed with Paw Tipsters. Yvonne developed this program out in Winnipeg, and it's in partnership with the Winnipeg Police Service, in which tips are taken anonymously through our Crime Stopper lines about any incidents of animal cruelty and animal abuse. And we report those tips, as police services will do, to the appropriate authorities. And if an arrest is made or charges are laid, that Paw Tipsters will then reimburse the Crime Stopper program the amount of that reward. So it's an excellent partnership because it's something that, we've always had on our radar screen, but it's something that we've never really highlighted particularly. And in this city and in this province of animal lovers and animal advocates, I think it's high time that some of the people that were treating their animals shabbily and cruelly have their just desserts served to them. And the key to that is that people can report this to Crime Stoppers anonymously. You won't have to give your name. You don't have to testify in court. And that's the value of this program, and I can see it spreading across Canada. We're happy that Yvonne reached out to Toronto Crime Stoppers for the first partnership with them in the eastern part of the country, and I'm delighted to introduce her and welcome her with us today. And basically, I would just say the key messages I would like to get across to the public today is if you suspect incidents of animal abuse or you know of incidents of animal cruelty, you can call Crime Stoppers at 222-8477. Never have to give your name or testify in court, and something will be done about it. So Yvonne, come on over and welcome.
My name is Yvonne Russell, and I'm the founder and president of Paw Tipsters, a nonprofit registered charitable organization where individuals call in and report tips of animal cruelty to Winnipeg Crime Stoppers. Paw Tipsters partnered with Winnipeg Crime Stoppers back in July of 2012, allowing members of the community to report cases of animal abuse or cruelty to an anonymous police-managed hotline. The program has since been very successful, receiving numerous calls and reports that have resulted in several animal rescues. Paw Tipsters has been very well known in Manitoba and all over the globe. We are looking to begin a national expansion and are so grateful to have Toronto as one of our starting points. Many people from Toronto and the surrounding area have requested us to bring Paw Tipsters to this area, so they have a channel to report anonymous tips of animal cruelty. Inhumane mistreatment of animals is a serious offense. Paw Tipsters exists to put an end to animal cruelty, to defend our animal friends that can't speak for themselves, and to investigate these heinous crimes. When the general public calls in a report, it is then forwarded on for further investigation. Cash rewards of up to $2,000 may be paid out to those who have reported a serious anonymous tip that has led to an arrest. We hope that the initiative will receive major support as we rely heavily on public donations, where contributions of $20 and over will receive a tax receipt. Unfortunately, animal cruelty is everywhere. Neglected animals that aren't fed, animals that aren't properly cared for, and animals that are abused beyond comprehension. This is happening in puppy mills, in dog fighting rings, and sometimes in neighboring households. The sad reality is that some people will not think to report animal abuse, but when a cash reward is involved, this may change the circumstance. That's why we're here, and that's why a partnership with a well-established organization such as Toronto Crime Stoppers is an ideal fit. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd also be remiss if I didn't introduce our friends over here, Constable Tom Pethick from Police Dog Services and his partner Bruin. Bruin is kind of a swear word around Toronto these days, but we welcome Bruin here anyway today. And I guess we're happy to take any questions you might like. Come on up, Yvonne.
How important is this line, especially coming out at this time when we're starting to see the warmer weather. I mean, every year we hear of people who have left their dogs, left their pets locked up in warm, hot, stinking cars. How important is this to be coming out now?
Well, I think it's very important in the sense that it's the time of year when, everyone has their pets out and about, and you do see instances like that. But it's really just a coincidence that it's starting right now because it's a problem 12 months of the year. The beauty of it, though, is that people who know or suspect of incidents can call the police and not have to worry about sitting down and filing a report and whatnot. They can call Crime Stoppers, retain their anonymity, and they can be sure that Crime Stoppers will pass off on the information to somebody that will, investigate properly. And for instance, if it was a case like you mentioned, I'm sure that the call would go immediately to 911, so an emergency response could go right away to the vehicle and help out that dog or whatever animal is in the car that's in distress. And any other type of incidents would be investigated by the proper people. So it's timely right now because it's a time of year when everybody's getting outside again and there's more eyes and ears out on the street to see these instances, and so it's an appropriate time to start.
You already get tips about animal abuse to Crime Stoppers. How does this make anything? How does it change things?
Well, it just gives us a partner. It gives us more, profile as to, a partnership that's out there that's raising money to do this, actually, and to help Crime Stopper and police services, bring people to account. Because as they do, they will reimburse Crime Stoppers for any rewards that are paid. So we certainly support anyone that helps us fund the important program of Crime Stoppers. And any additional awareness of the problem of animal cruelty is very much welcomed.
But doesn't Crime Stoppers already work with the OSPCA, and there's already anonymous tips there?
Well, we can send in the anonymous tips there. Yes, indeed, we can. But there's no reason to not have other people that you can rely on as partners to fight crime. Just like we just saw a few minutes ago, the partnerships with the companies about turning in your guns and whatnot. The more partnerships we have, the better. And when you have a partner that's willing to help fund the Crime Stoppers bank account, that's even better.
Can we ask
Certainly.
a few questions, if you don't mind? You're the founder of Paw Tipsters.
Yeah.
How did you come up with this idea?
Actually, I started it by one of my dogs who was actually rescued from the streets of Winnipeg. And he was found in a really, really bad state, severely neglected, severely malnourished, on the verge of actually dying. That's what Animal Services thought. And I just kind of thought to myself that there should be some, tip line where people could call in and maybe get a cash reward for reporting stuff like that. Because a lot of times people know that this stuff is happening, but they just, choose not to say anything. Maybe they don't think it's important enough, or what have you. And that's just kind of where I got the ball rolling.
So how much of a difference has it made in Winnipeg since its inception, and what kind of examples can you give us?
It's made a big difference, actually. Obviously, Crime Stoppers has received in Winnipeg, they've received a lot more animal cruelty calls. There's been several animals that have been removed from the situations that they were in, and they receive a number of calls on a daily basis.
Any idea how much more of an increase they saw? Or?
A lot. There's many calls that come in, so probably hundreds of calls have come in already. So.
And you're taking this national with obviously Winnipeg's your first stop,
Yeah.
and then Toronto your second stop.
Yeah.
Have you partnered up with any other Crime Stoppers?
We haven't officially partnered up with anybody else, but we're thinking maybe we might start with next Alberta or Montreal.
And once again, can you remind people what they can do when they do see some sort of animal cruelty or animal abuse? What can they do, and what about the reward? Can you go through that process again?
Okay, so if somebody, witnesses or knows of animal cruelty that is going on, they can call the Toronto Crime Stoppers. And from there, those tips that are given, they are forwarded on to the appropriate organization for investigation. And if the tip is found to be eligible, then the person who made the tip will receive a cash reward.
And how much is the cash reward again?
Anything up to $2,000.
I will mention that most of the people that call in for tips, and I would suspect that would be even the more so the case with Paw Tipsters, is don't really ever pick up their money. Those rewards are authorized, but they're doing it to be good citizens.
What is it about about us as, I guess, a society where, I mean, it's possible you'll end up with more tips about animal cruelty than you could about any crime, drug crime possibly. What is it about us as a society?
You know, I'm not sure. There's just, there's a lot of animal lovers out there, and I think the big thing is that, you know, animals can't speak for themselves, so, you know, somebody needs to speak for them.
Yeah, I would also add to that that I think anytime we develop a program or we hear anything to dealing with animals who can't speak for themselves or defend themselves usually, or children, the people in the community rally together and are very much are horrified by crimes against children and animals.
Do you have any sense of how many animal cruelty calls come into Crime Stoppers?
I don't have the statistics with me. Our police staff would have that right now. I know that we get, we've done some campaigns in the past and where we've just highlighted it ourselves and received quite a few, but it's not an insignificant number that comes in, but probably a lot of people that see things going on, even when just what someone is out and walking their dog or something like that, and they don't like what they see, hesitate to call because they don't want to get involved in a long process, and we're hoping the fact that they can call Crime Stoppers and we'll take care of their tips, that we'll see an increase in the numbers.
Can you describe a little bit how you're going to promote this, how you're going to get the word out that this partnership is taking place, and that, I mean, you know, if you look at the emblem, you know, Paw Tipsters with the paw print phone, I mean, it's easy to pretty easy to understand. How are you going to put the word out in order to have more reports of animal abuse come in?
Well, we're certainly off to a good start today. This is a tremendous turnout of media that will all report on this, so the word's going to get out immediately. We go to many community functions every year, which will, you know, be providing information about Paw Tipsters. We do a lot of public speaking. We're in the schools, you know, talking to the kids. Scott Mills here, and will no doubt put that in his millions of social media sites that he's dealing with, and we'll put it on our website. You know, we're not going to lack for ways to get it out there, and we plan to be pretty aggressive in promoting it.